What's up, good people, and welcome back to This is the Remix Effect. My name is Elisa, and I am the creator behind this channel. Join me as I not only remix aspects of my home, but other aspects of my life. If that sounds good to you, then stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed last week's video where I recreated and DIY'd a moss bowl centerpiece. In case you missed it, you can find it under the videos tab of the channel. So this week I'm going to stay in the living room again, and I'm going to tackle these two canvases that you see above the television. If you don't know, I recently moved into a home, and this channel is going to be based off of the remix of my new space. I have a design plan and a total different point of view that I want to see in my new home. And one of the things I love is abstract art, and given the size of canvases I need, I felt like I could recreate them on my own. So join me this week if you are into that too. So I went to my handy dandy research tool, Google, and what I decided to do was just kind of look at random pictures of abstract art so I could get some inspo, and boy did I. There's actually a piece of art here that I totally forgot that I actually recreated before. If you want a video on what I did before, let me know. I'm really attracted to the two hues, black and white. I always have been. I'm also very interested in very geometric yet organic shapes. I'm really into pattern and I'm into color. And the hues that I kind of generally favor are black and white. And so upon this Google search, it became really apparent that there's a lot out there. There's a lot of variety. I'm into pattern. I'm into bold, inky spots of color. And I think they'll fit really well into the space that I have. And I think I can recreate this. So after I kind of took a look at all of the items that were available to me, I decided to just kind of like, hey, let me take a stab at this. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can recreate a masterpiece. So this has absolutely nothing to do with the project, but on my way to gather supplies for this project, I stop on the highway. The highways never stop on a Saturday in Atlanta, but unbeknownst to me, look at the cars. They're starting to go backwards on the right-hand side. That's a ramp on the back side of that, and long story short, there was a stop in the highway. I have no idea why it was stopped, but everybody was backing down the up ramp. Luckily, nothing happened. But you know what? I didn't get stuck. I ended up getting all of my supplies. And here's what you're going to need to complete this. You'll need a set of really cheap paint brushes. You're going to need a palette knife, although you'll see something later. You'll need a drop cloth, pretty standard drop cloth. You'll need some paint. I'm trying to show you here that I just have a very neutral paint, acrylic. I also got a gold tone paint. And then I finally got spackling paste, and that's going to add texture to your canvas. And while we're on canvas, what I did was I took the canvas down from the wall and just began to prep it. There's no rhyme or reason to this, but hey, everybody. What I wanted to do is first make sure the dust was gone so that anything that I put on there would actually adhere properly. And so again, I just kind of did that and began with the process. So now that everything has been pretty much cleaned off, I'm removing the palette knife and getting ready to just spackle this up. Oh, wait. Hey, by the way, I'm listening to Snoop after watching the Verses with him and DMX, and I'm just feeling my Snoop playlist, the remix. So I'm pulling out my palette. I'm pulling out my spackle. It smells, whatever. And I am just going to, with no rhyme or reason, going to place that on this canvas. And then you're going to learn really quickly something. I'm going with the flow right now, but I'm realizing I'm not going to be able to sustain this at all. So, yeah. And it's at this moment that I realize my degree in kindergarten really kicks in. So I'm dancing and I'm moving, and I literally just take the trowel and I just kind of use it for whatever. But I find that I'm able to get more of the spackling paste onto the canvas far better and far quicker than using that palette knife. I think that palette knife is really for painters. So yeah, now it just, my work kind of speeds up. And so for the next, I don't know, however many minutes this took, this took a good little period of time. The drop cloth is very helpful, and I just pretty much go about spackling the hell out of this canvas. Now, I know I said that there was no rhyme or reason to this, but there is. So I want my canvas to actually kind of tell a story. So even though I'm repurposing the canvas, I do want some of the gold to show through. I want this to look like like I'm really an artist, like I'm really like Picasso, baby. But I want this art to look like this canvas existed, and that there's some previous history coming through the spackle. Right. So I am allowing for some of the spackle to be pretty thick in certain places and thin in others. She better lay low. Rest in peace, Nate Dogg, and thank you for the memories. But anyway, I think this goes without saying. I do the same thing on the other canvas. And finally, this is what's kind of left over. It's actually gorgeous. I'd actually like this on a smaller canvas. But this is my new slate. And with that, what I do is I start inking it up with my black. And there's really no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. And I will say that I'm enjoying painting over this texture. It's really giving it character. Excuse the fly. I have a very pesky fly that keeps popping up and it's so frustrating. But anyway, and what I'm going to tell you right now is this. I'm not going to fake it for YouTube. I'm actually not liking what I'm doing right now. So what I'm trying to do is overcompensate for what I've done, because I just don't feel like my little abstract marks are hitting for me. So now I'm just kind of trying to try all these techniques. So I'm going to wet the brush and thin out the paint. And I actually do like how that looks. You'll see in the finished result that actually was something that I really enjoyed. And yeah, here it is. Yeah, I don't like it. It's scary. It's kind of freaking me out. And so I go in and again, I try to overcompensate again. I'll just add black. So now I have a big black blob. It's still scary to me. I'm not feeling it. And yeah, look, this wasn't the inspiration for what I was doing, but that was like a simple design. This is just too convoluted. Okay, so here's another real simple design. And I flubbed it. Yeah, this is a no. So yeah, at this stage, I'm just kind of like, this is a no. This final version it sucks. I don't like it at all. So I figure out something. I have to save the day. And this was totally serendipity, but this is the final result. I love the texture. I love the tones of the two different colors. I love everything about this. And it was so random how it came together. So here it is in its final resting place. And I'm pretty proud of it. Look at how that texture allows some of the white to show through. And yeah, so with that said, I was ready for the next one. At this point, I'm feeling pretty insecure. This is what I had to start with. And this is I got an idea at this point and then ran out of paint. And so my tip to you is get more paint than you think you need. So I just start again painting. And I really still don't know what I'm going to do at all. I'm dancing my way through, chewing on my gum. And then it hits me. What I'm going to do is create the inverse of what was created on the other side. So it'll be kind of like a yin and yang, but it's not in that round shape. So yeah, now that I have my point of view, I feel really confident now. So what I'm doing is I am adding the creamish color in. And what I want to do is still exploit the black that's there and also the texture that's in there. So at this point, I'm rocking and rolling. I'm feeling this is fun. And I'm also, there's a technique to what I'm doing. And I think it's going to be reflected in the final product. So in a second, here we are. This is the final product. And what I love about this is it literally is the inverse, but it's still its own image. And here's the original one. And yeah, I actually like how they turned out. So, yeah, that concludes this week's project. Thank you for joining me. Again, thank you. Let's go over the breakdown of what it actually cost me to make these two masterpieces. So, again, just be reminded that your cost may be a little bit different than mine because you may have these items lying around your home. I literally had to purchase everything with the exception of the canvas. So my paint was $11 and I didn't use all of the paint that I purchased. My canvas was free because I actually had some lying around from previous projects. The trowel was $5. I don't recommend you purchase that. You probably can use a cake icing thingy or even a butter knife. But if you remember in the video, I just used my hands. And the drop cloth was $3. The spackle was $7. If there was anything that was really important to this, it was that spackle, because you can't see it on camera, but when you look at the items up close, they really, the spackle played a role. So my all-in total for this was $26, and I couldn't be more pleased. My final thoughts on the project are, I'm actually pretty pleased. Though it was frustrating at times, I actually assumed abstract and what looks simple was going to be simple, and it wasn't. I would say have a great playlist, have an open mind, and just enjoy yourself. I got a great deal for $26 and two 48 by 60 inch canvases, and also have enough paint. Well, fellow remixers, I just want to thank you for joining me again for another week with This Is the Remix Effect. I'm Elisa, the creator behind this channel. Thank you again for your support. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share if you really want to show your girl that you're down. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week.